What's up, y'all? Welcome to our Thanksgiving episode. And the problem with doing a podcast for so long and holiday themed episodes, as we've said before, is always difficult to figure out ideas. But when we do, it's really exciting. And Austin, this one is super exciting. We are, I think, our first ever draft between us.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see how this goes. So I'll kind of explain the rules. So you have to pick two players from each of the four major sports leagues: NBA, NHL, MLB, NFL. If you pick an NFL player, they have to play on the opposite side of the ball that they usually play, and that means that we cannot draft Travis Hunter as well, as he's a cheat code in this respect. And in our extreme Thanksgiving football, Travis Hunter will kind of be a cheat code. Uh,
Yep.
our positions are QB, wide receiver, running back, tight end. And now defense is D line, linebacker, cornerback, safety. If you're wondering why there's no O line, but there's D line, don't worry about it. It's Thanksgiving, nobody cares. But I'll get my first pick. You get right on the board with the first pick. I have to go QB. You always gotta go QB with the first pick, and I'm taking Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
He could figure out how to throw a football. I'm not worried about that.
Yep. You and I went the same route. NBA player, I'm going Luka as my QB. So that's the number 2 overall pick. These are two guys we went the same that have crazy passes, and then we're doing a snake draft. And for the record, Austin and I flipped a coin. I was wrong. He got it. He got heads. So that's how he got number 1 overall pick. And now, so my next guy. This is very difficult because I wonder if you have this guy, but for my wide receiver, I'm going Connor McDavid.
I did have McDavid on my list. However, I wasn't actually going to put him at wide receiver. I was going to put him at running back. But
Ooh, that's a good one.
I do like that pick. Next, this is a guy that's extremely talented, and you need some hops from your offensive player. I went wide receiver Derek Jones Jr.
Ooh, that's a good pick. That's a good pick.
He could
All
jump
right.
over anyone that you put on him, and he
Okay.
just has some speed, which is definitely necessary. It's not just height.
Yeah. It's a good one. Okay. Okay. All
We're going
right. So I
only jump
think,
balls on Thanksgiving.
yeah. Yeah. Ooh, okay. So now you have yeah, we're doing a snake draft. So I believe you have this pick.
Yeah, and another position that is extremely necessary is tight end. So I was thinking, do I go with this? I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna go with my guy. I went Aaron Judge at tight end. He played it in high school,
Ooh.
and he's a very good. He can catch balls pretty well in right field. And while he's not the best in center, that's more of like a speedster wide receiver position. But tight end, right field, I think that can work well. He knows how to do a lot of stuff. I think he could be my tight end.
I thought about putting him on my list because like he's a big guy, like he could fit in the NFL. Tight
He
end's a
also
good
played it
pick.
in
Yeah, that's
high school.
true. All right, but I'm going to go with my defensive end or defensive lineman. I'm going Mikko Rantanen. To me, he's got the body. He can push people off. He can rush the passer.
Okay, so what's your next pick?
So now my next pick is I'm staying on the defensive side. I'm going Giannis Antetokounmpo as my linebacker.
Okay, that's a huge linebacker, but
But he
okay.
has the speed for me that could still like do it. So like he's a huge linebacker and he's got the speed and like
I
defensively
was
to
wondering
cause
if
some
one of us was
problems.
going to put like Wimby at wide receiver and just say no one can catch the ball. I mean, he
That's
gets
true.
to catch the ball over everybody. But my thing is like it's two hand touch, and he's got to get to the end zone, and
Yeah, yeah.
so I do think there's a little bit there. I'm going running back, and I'm going another MVP in the MLB, and I'm going Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani is
Ooh.
extremely underrated when it comes to his speed. He's one of the fastest players in the league, but he also has size, right? So he's huge. He's 6'4" ish, and he's fast, and he also has great eyesight, which he benefits from on both sides of the ball. So I went Ohtani. So I just did my entire offense before I did anybody on defense. On defense, and I've also run out of MLB and NBA. So I'm going NHL and NFL for both my defensive positions. My D line is Victor Hedman. Hedman is 6'7". He can do
Oh,
anything defensively to help if the tight end has to block for one of the plays, or like it's like a center / tight end. So we'll play it like that, where it's a center / tight end, and they have to at least snap the ball and maybe consider blocking. Hedman can make stuff happen. Big dude, and even though Judge can definitely block him, I mean they're the same height. Hedman knows how to defend if he has to drop into coverage a little bit.
Ooh, okay, I like this. Yeah, you went full offense. I kind of mixed it. I wanted to get defensive linemen, and ooh, I like where we're going. So I guess I'll go with my tight end, and this is one of my NFL players, so I'm choosing from the defensive side. I'm going Myles Garrett as the tight end.
Okay, I thought about going Myles Garrett for tight end. It's very similar to like J.J. Watt. If J.J. Watt was still in the league, I would have went him at tight end. But
Oh yeah.
I get that. I mean, he's an extremely grueling opponent, I bet, to play against, especially in his sport, even if it isn't on the side of the ball that he normally plays. What's your next pick?
So my next pick, I'm going cornerback, and this is difficult because I'm like, I didn't want to go wide receiver, wide receiver, haven't playing corner, but I decided to go with Wyatt Langford as my cornerback. He's got some speed. He's got a little bit of an NFL body, so I think he could do it.
Okay. Yeah, I thought about putting like a center fielder in one of my spots, but I'm just like, I'm gonna get my offense rolling, outscore my problems like the Cowboys, and just try to
Yeah, that's a good one.
try to get something going. At safety, this is my other NHL player, Miro Heiskanen. If we're talking about
Ooh,
a
that's a
player
good
that
one.
is fast but can also read a play, he's playing the back. He has to read everything. Miro's very good with his eyes and his ability to pick up guys that may be passing options, but he's also physical, right? You're playing the NHL because you're physical. So those are my two guys there. And then at linebacker, so this was a little bit tough because now I only have my 2 NFL spots left. So both of these guys have to be from the other side of the ball. And at linebacker, I'm like, do I want to put a tight end? Do I want to put a running back? And I'm like, yeah, I'm putting Derrick Henry at linebacker. I mean, how is that a question?
Ooh, that's a good
Derrick
one.
Henry at linebacker, I think he could do that. You give him a year to train, and obviously, it's only Thanksgiving, right? This is just for fun. But I think if you gave Derrick Henry a year to train, he could be an NFL caliber linebacker. That's how talented he is. He knows already how to read holes on offensive lines, and he knows so many rushing plays that he could definitely blow up a lot of those plays just by reading what run play it is.
Mm-hmm. And he's the same size as Von Miller, who's a fantastic, technically linebacker, but was a pass rusher. So it would work.
Okay, so who are your last 2 picks?
So my last 2 picks. So I'm gonna go safety first. And I'm gonna go Randy Arozarena because I thought about with the NHL guys, I'm like, yes, they're fast, but I don't know if they're fast depending on your wide receiver. So I want guys in the outfield that are quickly can track the ball. So that's why I went on my defensive back spots. I went Langford, who is an outfielder, and then Randy Arozarena as safety. I think could cover the field as well. That leaves running back, which is my final NFL pick. I went DeMarvion Overshown.
Okay. Okay. Is he going to be the uncle that hurts himself at Thanksgiving?
Yes. Yeah, I know. I was like, I got to think about injuries, but I'm like, I think he could do it. He could have the speed. Okay, so this makes for
Well,
a.
I have
Oh yeah,
still one more. Remember, because I had the first pick, and then I have like an extra like last
yeah.
pick to pair it up. So my only spot left, and this is NFL as well, and it's corner. This is another one. I'm like, do I want to go? Like, what position do I want to go here with corner? Because he's got to be fast, but he doesn't necessarily have to be a wide receiver. Then I'm like, height wise, health wise, why not just go one of the best route runners? I went JSN. I know JSN's having a great year this year,
Oh, that's a good
but
one.
I think Jackson Smith-Njigba is would he'd be able to guard some of those guys. He has jump ball ability, and I think that's important, especially when playing like again. Who's your wide receiver?
My wide receiver is Connor McDavid.
Okay, so you don't necessarily have the height, but you do have the speed, and I think JSN will be able to guard that. I mean, a 6-foot corner, I think that's solid. So I like how my roster turned out, but it would be a very interesting game. I wonder who'd win.
I know it would be fun to see who would win because you and I have great passers, but they're not super agile. And I would love to see how McDavid would do at wide receiver and Rantanen at defensive end.
Yeah, I just think that. I mean, I think I have the advantage on offense because, I mean, your wide receiver. I mean, we don't know how much hops McDavid has. You don't really have to jump on ice all that often, but I do find I like my offense. I think the Judge Otani like
That is a
lateral
sick.
play is going to go crazy.
I want to see Giannis playing linebacker because I do think you'd present problems on defense.
Yeah, I do. However, is he going to be fast enough to keep up with some of my guys? I mean, Otani's one of the fastest players in the MLB. Derek Jones Jr. could probably touch higher than Giannis. I don't even think that's crazy to say that. So it's going to be a little bit interesting. I love my. I think having your most like savvy players, like if we talk about football wise, on defense is important. That I wanted to have for defensive purposes have both of my best defenders, not best defenders, but necessarily, but two of my defenders be NFL players because I think like Derek Henry, I almost said Derek Jones Jr. Derek Henry knows what it's like to be a running back. So who's your running back?
It's DeMarvion Overshown.
I think Derek Henry would be a better linebacker than Overshown would be a running back.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, with JSN, he's fast enough to keep up with McDavid, or at least close to, and he knows he knows what a wide receiver would want to do, especially when it doesn't have crazy get off the ball moves, right? And then putting two hockey defensemen as my other defensive players, I mean, they know how to hit, right? So let's say we're playing extreme Thanksgiving football, and there's hitting involved. I mean, I got the best defense out here. I mean, Derrick Henry knows how to hit. Victor Hedman definitely knows how to hit. Mira Heiskanen as a safety. He could be a little Earl Thomas.
Oh, yeah, it could. Dude, man. It would be fun to see how this would work out. I just would love to see, because I'd like to see how you and I play call, what defense, how I call the defense, and using some guys, because I had an idea of what my defense would do. Because they're not speed, but some of them have speed, but it's more like size. And then specifically on offense, it's a lot of size.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited to see how this matchup would go, but unfortunately, we don't get the pleasure of calling these guys up and telling them to go at it on Thursday.
Yeah, that would be fun though, but it's a fun exercise, and I would say a fun way to celebrate our 5th Thanksgiving or 6th Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So let us know your thoughts, comments. If you want to do a draft, you have an idea for each position, let us know. Thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.